So by now, everybody knows about the situation with Sherrone Moore. I mean, as the days go by, more and more details come out, but a lot of people are probably saying or wondering, like, man, what makes a man that has a $30 million contract with a blue blood football school? Because make no mistake, Michigan is one of the big dogs in the sport. Like, they're up there with the Alabamas and LSU's as far as tradition and blue blood status go. And power in the state. Like, what would make him risk losing all of that? And the answer is simple. It's just an age-old thing that's been making men stumble since back in the Bible days. And it's lust. It's the opposite sex. Like, it's being reported that not only was he messing around with his staffer as a married man with kids, but he broke into her house and threatened to kill himself with the butter knife and kitchen scissors. Like, fellas, look, we hear about situations all the time with guys getting themselves screwed up out of money or whatever because of females. We don't always hear about crazy stuff like this, my goodness. But if you don't control your sexual impulses, then it can lead you to do stupid stuff like this and lose everything. Now, when it comes down to it, I don't feel bad for him at all. Like, he knew what he was doing. He knew that he was married. I don't know I have like no right to speak on his marriage and what he and his wife may have been going through. It might have just been him not having any discipline whatsoever, and things could have been perfectly fine with him and his wife. But now she's having to deal with some of the embarrassment of it, even though she did nothing wrong in the situation. And I've read in the last few days that he has 2 daughters. So now his daughters have to go to school. Everybody already knew that their dad was the head coach of Michigan. That's enough pressure in and of itself. But now they know all his dirty laundry because of this. Man, I think it might be safe to say that he might never get a high-profile coaching job again. Maybe he'll end up in some 1A school in Arkansas somewhere or something, you know. So that part of his life may be over. You never know. That's just what it looks like. His marriage, that's up to him and his wife. I'm not gonna sit here and predict on that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, his wife ends up finding happiness and finding peace. The worst thing about it to me is his relationship with his daughters. Because that's the one thing that I know for sure and is that can be saved. But it's the one thing that might have the most effect. Because you have some little girls here that probably look up to their father. And if you're a man with girls in your life like myself, and some of you I'm sure, then you're probably wanting to be an example of how you want them to be treated. That's not an example of how you would want your daughters to be treated by a man. You know? Who wants to hear about their daughter's husband having an affair? And not only that, but the boys in his life, being a good role model for them. How a man's supposed to conduct himself. You know, this is a guy that stood up in front of his team talking about discipline and all that. But he couldn't even control his own sexual impulses. Like, if you don't control that stuff, it's going to control you. And this is the type of stuff that can happen. Even going to back in the day, look at David in the Bible. Now, everybody knows that David killed Goliath with the sling and the stone to his head and chopped his head off. Everybody knows about David and Goliath. But a lot of people don't know that David had an affair with Bathsheba, who was married to somebody else. And then he had her husband, Uriah, put on the front lines in war to be killed, which he was killed. Samson and Delilah. Man, this dude was completely dumb over Delilah. She's sitting there showing him over and over that she's trying to double cross him to find out what his strength is. But he, even though every time he told her a lie, and she went around behind his back and tried to do what he told, he still ended up giving her the secret that it was his hair and his locks needing to cut off, and he still told her. That's what lust can do. It will completely cloud your mind and make you make dumb decisions. You won't even be able to see reality right in your face. Now, as for his mistress, the staffer, she became a victim whenever he began acting crazy and threatening her and breaking into her house. But before any of that was going on, she was a woman that was messing around with a man that had a family, and she knew it. But for some reason, nobody's talking about that. Probably because she can be labeled a victim now, which she is now, because he did break into her house and pick up knives and kitchen scissors and stuff. But I'm not going to ignore the fact that she knew this man was married and knew he had a family. And she didn't control herself either. I don't know her. I don't know any of them. Maybe she just wanted a job and wanted to get ahead in her career. Who knows? I'm saying all that to say that in those situations, there's no trust. You can't sit there and have a side chick and think that you can trust them. That to me is just mind-boggling and so stupid that a guy would risk a multi-million-dollar job for some piece of you-know-what on the side.
Like in half a mile, turn right onto Alabama 10 East, Broad Street.
Sorry, I'm traveling on the road. But like she's somebody that can be trusted. That's just mind-boggling to me. But yeah, fellas, we always hear about these NBA players that lose out on thousands of dollars. Child support because of these females. We have to do better in controlling our impulses and not letting them control us. Because now look at him.
Turn right onto Alabama 10 East, Broad Street.
Well, yeah, that's it. Everybody have a blessed day.